Hi there, I'm Ali CJ Cooks, and in this video we are going to make tahini or sesame paste from scratch. So what I have here are some sesame seeds. They're toasted sesame seeds. I bought them already toasted, and I've popped them in my food processor. Now this is a Magimix food processor. It's really powerful with a good, sharp, strong blade, and it will make nut butters to an extent. You'll see at the end of the video another piece of equipment that I use, which is rather like a nutri bullet. But for now I'm just starting it off in here. So I'm processing the seeds until they become sort of sand-like. They won't break down immediately like peanut butter. And unlike peanut butter, you need to add a small amount of vegetable oil with the sesame seeds to get it to sort of process right down and become that sort of creamy liquid texture. So you'll see what we have here is sort of that sand, that wet sand texture. And that's, it's really quite nice as it is. It tastes delicious, but it's not tahini, and we can't spread it and use it in dressings and that sort of thing quite the same way. So it's quite crumbly, really good. We want to break that down a little bit further. So back in the processor with a drizzle of light vegetable oil. Now, I'm going to say sort of 2 to 4 tablespoons for this amount. I will include the ingredients with the video. I'll add the ingredients underneath the video. But it really does depend on the consistency that you want. So as I say, I've probably added about 3 tablespoons in total, because I'm going to add a splash more, which you'll see here. It is quite creamy. I still don't have that sort of liquid, really smooth texture that I want. So in with a splash more. I mean, it's literally just a splash. You've seen exactly what I've put in there. Lid back on, and then I'll process it even further and keep going until you see the sort of the texture change, and you'll see it break down even more. Now, what I am going to do after this is pop it into my, it's not exactly a NutriBullet, it's actually from Lidl. It's a really good machine, and it's exactly the same specification as a NutriBullet. I think it cost half the price. In fact, it cost about a quarter of the price, and it's brilliant. So what we have here is something that's really smooth and really creamy, and it's perfectly good as it is, but I do want to break it down a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is pour this into my NutriBullet, or the comparative NutriBullet, and also if you have a NutriBullet, you can do this from the start. Just make sure that if you have a blade for sort of grinding nuts and beans, then use that one first and sort of process it 30 seconds at a time if you're using a NutriBullet style blender to get the sort of the sandy consistency, and then you can start adding your vegetable oil to break it down even further. So I've whizzed it a little bit more in here, and what you'll see is sort of something even more creamy and more smooth, but that's just a personal preference. You really don't have to have it like that. Now, I prefer doing this. I know it's crazy, do we need to do this? But isn't everything homemade going to be just that little bit better? You know what's gone into it. If you make this, if you enjoyed it, let me know. Tag me, hashtag AliCJCooks. You'll see the hashtag in the comments below, in part of the post. And I'd love to hear from you if you do make this, and have a super day. Remember, be kind, be happy.